I'm going to go through the 2-year-olds. I gave quite an update throughout the week, all the horses, where they're at, what they're doing, my thoughts on them over the last 2-3 weeks. And they haven't changed much, right? We didn't have the first 2 nights we wanted to in Scioto. Fillies were good. Judy's Money was astonishingly good. And as I said before, none of the fillies really let me down. When you break everything down to what they were able to do, where they were probably ready to go, and what they did the other night, there shouldn't be really a whole lot of disappointment. Again, just shocked with how good Judy's Money was, and happy that she was good. Looking forward to racing the rest of the fillies throughout the summer. Now, let's talk about all the 2-year-olds. ACDC's out in the field. I had somebody message me and say, when are we bringing him back in? Geez, guys, he's only been gone 2 weeks. He's going to need at least 6 or 8 weeks off, just to relax. And here's the thing. I know for all my partners out there that want to see ACDC race and come back and be good, you got to allow him to grow up, right? Because we brought him back now and we raced him as is. He would be terrible. He's not good enough, pace 56. And just so we're clear, I raced Perfection Hanover in the maiden the other night, last night, in the maiden. He finished 5th and paced 55-1, last quarter and 28-1. So just to put everything in perspective, just leave the horse alone and let him relax and grow up. Aunt Sarah, my only concern, as I said multiple times, my only concern from the other night was Aunt Sarah seemed to be a little pinchy, some stuff that was bothering her. I think there's a couple of little flashpoints that are really bothering her, and they've created some secondary issues also. And I think that, I hope that Dr. Latessa can get to the bottom of that as quickly as possible. Bianco Spiaggia, getting him ready again. He'd been training down his ankle where he'd originally bothered it, whereas his ankle was really originally bothering him. Has flared up a little bit again, and rather than, he's already given us 2 warnings, right? Don't blow through stop signs with this guy. Cool him out, cryo that area around the sesamoid, take the soreness away from it, start letting it fill in, and then at that point we can bring him back as a 3-year-old, I'm sure. Blue Rare had that entrapment. We had that fixed. Now, she technically could have been ready for her grassroots race on Monday, but that would have been a lot to ask. I almost did. I almost pulled the trigger on it. Then I just said, you know what, train her up Saturday, train her middle of the week, race her next weekend, and we'll go from there. And that's, I think, is a much smarter plan with Blue Rare. Capistrano Nights is coming back to the barn. I only wanted to give her a couple weeks off, her and Royal Duchess, just to see what the outlook looks like for the rest of the year. It is either boiling hot in this car, my feet are freezing, my head is boiling. So I guess we'll fix that and just put it on my head, right? Seems like an easy fix. So Royal Duchess and Capistrano Nights are coming back. I'll jog them up for the next week, and then I might even train them one trip. And if I'm happy with how they look, awesome. If I'm not completely happy with how they look, then they're going to need a little bit more time, in which case I'll kick them back out. Captain Doolittle, I'm on my way to race him right now. I forecasted a mile and 58 and a piece. He's drew the 7 hole. We'll see if he can muster the 58 in a bit. I don't know. I hope he bails me out. I said this a month ago. I would love to be a couple of breakers in there for him to get a good trip. He's got a great attitude, and I just want to see him do well. And today is a first step forward for him, I hope, in doing just that. Cherry's Girl, certainly another surprise. We talked about Judy's Money. What about Cherry's Girl? Oh my God almighty. Her and Don't Ask Again were horrid all winter, all spring, just terrible. And for them to bounce out the way they did to start the season was uplifting, to say the least. Very, very happy with what I saw from Judy's Money the other night, and ecstatic about what I've seen with Cherry's Girl. Now, I just got a message from Mark saying that he has to go to Yonkers. We'll talk about that Yonkers race in a minute. But he had to go to Yonkers to drive a 3-year-old trotter, and was wondering if he could just drive Cherry's Girl, and then if we could get somebody else for Don't Ask Again and Pretty Eyes and Lies. And all the big drivers are there, so I'm sure it won't be a problem. Oh, I see. We got another trucker that's doing this. Why do they do this? I understand it's a merge lane, but when the truckers move out to block everybody, it's kind of annoying. Why do you care? It's a Saturday. No, this guy doesn't want to let me in either. No, he's not going to look at me. I'll just pretend I'm not here. So Cherry's girl has been good and continues to be good. The old trucker, he wasn't playing games. He almost put that guy right in the buckwheat, right there. There. Now I'm going to get in front of you, Bronco. There's nothing you can do about it. So Cherry's girl, Mark can drive her. She drew the 7-hole. I don't know what kind of trip he's going to work out. He's going to have to duck her, right? He can't come barreling out of there. It's just a baby. Second in her first sire stake. I expect her to be good with a decent trip. If she gets a terrible trip, or they line up and she's just 7th and they get everything their own way, well then no. I don't expect it's going to work out well for us. But if it's the opposite, maybe a couple of breakers, somebody runs the front end a little hot, we get drug up into the race, and I could easily see Cherry's girl, doing very, very well. Doing very, very well in Philadelphia on Thursday. Degas, again, here's a filly that trotted 56-3 her last start and finished 3rd. She's just off the top flight horses. I think she's going to do very, very well in Kentucky in general for us. Definitely through Lexington and then likely into Corbin in the fall. Just a really, really nice filly and a very nice filly to drive. She reminds me of a little bit as Arrowhead Hanover. She's even got a slicker gait than Arrowhead Hanover, but similar to Arrowhead Hanover. I wonder if I should be getting off here. What do you think? I don't have Waze on me, so. I got lots of time to get to the track. Oh, it's just the lane is narrowing. I'm not getting off here. So Degas, we're going to have a lot of fun with her. Diosa de la Danza, we'll see how she does in the Buckeye. We still have tons of options with this filly. When you see the sire stakes going 51-1, we just got to shrug your shoulders and say, nice filly, they're just better fillies. I don't think our prediction of her being a nice filly is wrong. If you would have said, okay, define nice filly, Anthony, what would you expect from her? If she paces 53 in the next generation, she should be fine, be 1, 2, 3, and if she can expand on that at all, she'll be one of the better fillies in Ohio. I think that's a fair synopsis if you just rewind it a little bit. She did pace. There was no next generation. She did pace 53-4 in a beaten way. Was not a factor and is not a stake filly. She's a Buckeye filly for sure. The difference between her, though, is she's also eligible to Kentucky, and I think she'd be a much better horse down there. So I'm torn between staying the course. I guess I'm going to tell you what. I guess it'll depend on how the Buckeye looks on Monday, won't it? How she looks on Monday. I think it's Monday. That's a fair assessment also. Don't ask again. I just finished talking about her a little while ago. What a nice filly she's turned into me. And another one, just a cow to train down. Those fillies you can just never tell, right? She had me very, very concerned, and then every week since she stepped foot on the racetrack behind the starting gate, she's got better. Every time that starting gate has been on the track, she has got better, and she was very good the other day. Second, closing in at 57. Just a really, really nice filly. Dune, never out of the top 2, I don't believe. 1-2-1. No, 1-2-1-2. She's been in her first 3 starts. She'll be back racing soon, I would imagine. Emerald Tom was awesome also. His first start, 4th, in a kind of a tough spot. We qualified him in like 2-3 and then put him in to go at Scioto. They went like 56 in front of him. He trotted 57-3, finished 4th. We put him in the Buckeye. We put him in the Sire Stakes tonight simply because the Buckeye, the first Buckeye is at Bucyrus. And although I'm sure he'd get around, it would not be, that's not annoying. It would not be preferred by him, I don't think. That track run in pretty good. I think he'd have your hands full, keep him trotting at Bucyrus also. I just thought, you know what, we'll follow some speed, and there'll be speed tonight. He drew him with Ronnie Gillespie's good colt that won the next generation. Go Strong Hanover's making his first start back. Kind of short notice on an entrapment surgery. Similar situation to Blue Rare. This guy's got to get racing, right? And he needs to do better and be better, and he can. But again, on a much more diminished scale, he's really got to, as I talked about, buying in to being a racehorse. He's really got to buy in, and I hope and expect that he will. He will. Had to know we're going to give him some time off. I like his attitude. I like everything about him. He's just physically immature. His stifles are big. His knees are still open. You see him putting in steps the other night. Wants to do his work. He could have rang that bell 19 times the other night. At any point, he could have run in any different spot in the track that he got rough in. But he chose not to. He chose to do his work well, and he did do it well. What are these guys doing? Making a mess of the road. Hanger 1 trained very good, schooled very good this week, and then came back and trained very, very good again. Oh, that's cool. Came back and trained very, very good again today. I trained him just a slow mile today at Northfield, and he was exceptionally good. In New York, bit of a conundrum there. He's sounder now. He's good now. Do we take him down and race him in the bottom level in Kentucky, the Wildcat, a couple of times and put him away? May as well. I mean, if the open trots are, the maiden trot's going to go in 50, anywhere from 56 to 2-1 at any different track. I suppose bringing him to Lexington makes sense, doesn't it? If we're not going to turn him out, I think he is going to get turned out, but I don't know if he needs to be turned out this second. I guess we'll see. Jailbird Jog. Right now, anyway, the best horse we have in the barn. I say that because we haven't raced Perfect Thought yet. She has a lot of high hopes hanging on her also. But Jailbird Jog has been tremendous her first 2 starts. Really, really impressed with this filly. Jolene Hall, very impressed with her too. She's not Jailbird Jog, but I'll tell you what, she's no slouch. And she's a really nice filly. She's going to get better every time we race her. I was really happy with her 3rd place finish the other day. Judy's Money just blew me away how good she was. You know what she did? She just took a really ordinary, mediocre, kind of depressing night and turned it around. At least allowed me to shine a realistic light on the way the night really went rather than the way I perceived it went. You know, disappointed with the brakes and the horses just weren't quite good enough. But they were as good as we could ask them to be the other night for the most part. And Judy's Money win allowed me to actually take a deep breath and look at the night for what it was, not for what I perceived it to be, because I was maybe having a bad day, or a bad evening anyway. So Judy's Money saved the day for sure, and allowed me to take a deep breath and look at what actually took place in Scioto the other night. Leland Hanover, I'm going to race him today. I don't think my expectations have changed even in the slightest of this horse. I think he's got a very, very bright future, and I think we're going to have a lot of fun with him. And he is on the cusp of breaking free right now. You know, that mile and 55 the other day was the right way, and he looks like he is really, really turning into a nice horse. Lifting Legend raced good in the Buckeye, or in the Prospect the other day. I was happy with him from post 9, did his work, weaved through some breakers, ended up closing 4th. I thought the horse raced well. Love Sensations going to the field. I explained why. Eric had messaged me, he said, you sure you don't want a qualifier at Lexington? I said, no, not really. No. I just don't think there's a need. She can grow up and fill out. There's no need for her to be racing right now. She showed me a lot in her first start. Yes, she made a break, but she showed me a lot. There was a filly that took her job seriously and tried her hardest to do it. We can't ask much more than that from a horse. Megan's Lucky Day raced great the other night. If I had been able to follow Judy, I'm a good 3rd. Instead, I was an okay 5th. But it was tough for me to get her down in the passing lane. If you watch the race, somebody actually slid. The horse was 3rd. Slid through the inside of me to beat me in the passing lane. I just had a real tough time getting her in there, and she was still only 5th, beat a quarter of a length for 3rd. Had Aaron stayed in the 2-hole and I let Judy's Money go coming to the half, I'm in behind her. I don't think I give her or Dan Noble a scare, but I think I'm a very close 3rd, 59, probably maybe even 58 in a bit. I wasn't disappointed with her at all. Millie Girl again. Somebody said, maybe just not as good as we'd hoped. Well, 54 is a pretty good mile, and Ronnie told me the one that got pushed inside the pylons was his 2nd favorite filly of the entire Burke Burn that he went with. And clearly that filly that won the race for Eddie Miller and Chris Lems, Mike, she's a good filly, no joke. So I don't think I have a problem with the way Millie Girl went, or is going for that matter. You guys know the timeline there, right? She was sick. And and it bled a couple of times. We got her on Lasix, and 6 days after we discovered the bleeding, or 7 days, I'm not sure what it was, we qualified her right back on Lasix. First time she ever had Lasix, she qualified good, 58-28. Then come back the next week. First start was a Stallion Series, tall ask also, missing that prep race, couldn't get in. Comes back, trade paces 55 and a piece, 28 on the end of it again. Comes back the next week, first start back to back, paces 54 and 3, 28 and 2, or 28 and 3 on the end of it. I don't know how we could ask any more of. I don't know how we could have asked any more from Millie Girl. And again, if you had to run it back to the middle of spring and say, would you be okay if Millie Girl paced 54 and 3 or for a third lifetime start, second lifetime start? I don't think any of us would be upset. So Millie Girl, I was certainly impressed with Millie Girl, the way she did her work, but how professional she felt. Now, my name is Swaney. This is the first update you're going to get on her. Was some discomfort in her left hind when she raced, before she raced and jogged out of it, warmed up out of it, raced out of it. Was not on a line or wasn't concerning at all in the mile. And then again, the first day they jogged her back, a little pinchy left front, an OCD was found in her ankle. Happens. I think it's manageable, and I don't think we're going to have to interrupt her season. I think maybe at the end of the season we can take that pesky little OCD out if it's still bothering her. Before you get too concerned, there's been hundreds, if not thousands, of horses raced with OCDs up until it was a thing that we really took them all out no matter what. And we have some horses that they were in places that the surgeons did not want to operate and take them out, so they stayed there. They stayed there forever. And with my name Swaney, if you would ask me in the post-parade, like, something's bugging her. And then when I turned to score down, she was fine. And then in the mile, straight, not on a line, not on a shaft, and raced great. I think, seeing what I've seen, this is easily best case scenario. Imagine now if there was a line in her pasture and we had to stop with her, or a soft tissue issue that was bothering her. A little OCD here and there, we can manage that, no problem at all. Neuromancer was going to the track today to train again. I said to Dominic, and Dom said, I want to get him behind the gate. He said, do what you want. Until he's mentally prepared and ready to be a racehorse, just keep putting the work into him for now. And at some point down the road, in the next few weeks, he'll either veer off to the left and go to the field, or he'll turn right and he'll go to the races. But that'll be up to him. And I don't think we can force that on him. He just won't let us. Perfection Hanover, who I said was third the other night, going to make a little shoeing change in. We're going to try the aluminums on him. Rollerbur left, aluminum shoes on him, and then we'll see. I think he'll pace 53, 54. I think that's fair. 54 for sure. I think he'll pace 53, which makes him maybe a Stallion Series horse. Maybe a Stallion Series horse. We'll see. Perfect Thought is exactly what we thought she was. Scotty raves about her. He's only gone with her once or twice. I scratched her last night just out of abundance of caution. She had an elevated AST level that was coming down, but just hadn't quite got there yet. So we did the safe thing. She'll race next week. Pretty Eyes and Eyes, very good qualifier from her. Really, really impressed with her qualifier. Rico Tubbs, I'm going to warm him up in 9 minutes. I am, 9 minutes. I expect good things from him today. He trained better the other day, made some changes. I'm happy with what I saw. Riding the rodeo. Nice filly again. Pace 54, 55. Just not going to cut it in the stake scene. So she's going to race the overnights a little bit, probably catch another couple of grassroots, and then we'll turn her out for the season. Rose Run Bobby, I was happy. I felt bad. I wish she hadn't run. I think she would have been a contender in that race had she stayed at it the other night. I think the horse coming up the inside, and I just checked her at the wrong time and I lost her. But I'll tell you what, she's much better than I thought she'd be. I really thought, I had joked about how dumb she was, and I thought that it would just mean that she would take a very long time to understand racing. And she's just not quite there yet, but she's so much closer. I mean, to be honest, I shouldn't say she's not there yet. If I could have run that race back, tightened her hobbles up one hole, let Ken Holiday fill that hole, drop in behind him, and race her, I dare say she's won too. I was happy with Bobby and a little surprised. Very happy with her. Royal Duchess is coming in tomorrow. We'll start her back up. If she's not 100%, back to the field she'll go for another 4 or 5 weeks, but I suspect she'll be much better. Royal Flush Dio is out in the field. He'll stay out there for another 5-6 weeks. Simply Chaotic. I'm going to make a concerted effort to be there to drive him a week from Tuesday. I think Dominic said that it must be Grand River, I guess. I'm not sure. I'm going to do my best to be there anyway. Solidarity. Trained great last week. I suspect Tim probably trained him up today or yesterday, and he'll be qualifying Tuesday at the Meadows. I won't be here, but I'm sure he'll be just fine. Steady Volo made a break yesterday. I'm going to bring him over here. He'll qualify a week from Tuesday also at the Meadows. I'll go with him when I get home. Steph's Hope, again, happy with her. That's all she was ready to go. And it is unfair of me or anybody else to say, well, she was 7th. Well, if I get her in the last turn, she's 5th. That's first off. So she would have tried 59-3. She'd been in 2-3 and 2-4 coming off the buyers. That's what she was ready to go. Sterling Hanover, another 2 weeks just on the walker, and then I suspect we'll be able to start him back up and see how he's doing. Supermind is in tonight, 6-5 tonight. Morning line in the Sire Stake race just was awesome, his first start. We'll see how he races tonight. Sweet Lake has been good. A winner in her first Stallion Series event. She'll be in not this Sunday, but next Sunday at Poconos, I believe. Tomboy Strong is in tonight. She's like 5 or 6 to 1 morning line. First race in a Sire Stake at Scioto Downs. Uncle Danny, I think you're going to see our Uncle Danny show up tonight. Not the fractious version of him the other day. I think you're going to see, I could be wrong, we'll see, but I think he'll be better tonight. Woodmere Bullet, a winner in his first lifetime start also. He'll be back racing soon. Probably keep him in the B division until he grows up and matures a little bit in the Maritimes, but that will be up to Mr. Jamie Smith. And our girl Zena Kemp is in on Tuesday. She is very, very good. Was great the other day. A little bit of a kerfuffle in the first turn. Dexter got jammed up with Andy and ended up making a break with her, but said she's a very nice filly otherwise. She'll be back in on Tuesday. Atlee Bender is going to be there to drive her. Now you are all caught up with your 2-year-olds. I don't think I even missed one today. It's rare that I don't miss one. I'm just taking a quick peek. I don't think I missed one. It's a good day. Anyway, I'm off now in 4 minutes, 5 minutes. I'll be there in 3 to warm up Rico Tubbs. I'm going to go last trip with everybody today, race everybody today, leave immediately after the 6th race. After that 6th race, get in the car, drive directly to Scioto Downs and race our horses tonight. Tomorrow I'm off to Cooperstown. I'm going to watch. I can't wait. I'm so excited. I'm going to watch my boy play baseball in Cooperstown tomorrow afternoon, and then likely go to dinner with him. I'm going to make my way to Albany, New York. Now, for me to drive Jailbird Jog, I have to get up at 3:30 in the morning, drive an hour and a half to Albany Airport, fly to Nashville through Philadelphia, I think, get off the plane, rent a car, drive to Kentucky, right? Drive to Oak Grove, race Jailbird Jog, go back, catch a flight. That flight gets in at 11:40 at night in Albany, drive the hour and a half back, almost what? By the time I get there, it'll be 1:30-ish. But for the rest of the week, I'll be in Albany. Now, I'm reachable. You can text me, you can email me. Don't worry about that. Doesn't concern me in the least. I'm happy to answer all your questions, but I will be unavailable as a driver from Tuesday, for sure. Not Sunday, obviously. Monday I'll be in Kentucky, but from Tuesday through to Saturday, I will be unavailable. So good luck to all of you. All the horses, all our drivers driving them, all of my partners racing them. Starts today. We have 14 coming your way this afternoon. Good luck to everybody.